So hello Silver, and today we're going to look at the Canadian deck. Are you ready for this one?
Yes, I am. It's also going to be quite a interesting experience, I'm going to have to say.
Yeah, I'm not over enamored with the Canadian deck. Not the Well, you have to have some weaker units in the game, and I do specify this is just in the game. I mean, I know that Canadians are very good fighting force with very brave soldiers, especially through history in World War One and World War Two. Although I'm not quite so sure of their contribution in current modern, sure, in inverted commas, wars. Although I'm sure they do contribute to those as well.
Well, all I can really say to our northern neighbors from here in America is that, yes, they are definitely very brave. I'm going to give them that.
Let's head off into the logistics section, and I'll let you start off.
All right, well, okay. First off, fob, usual.
Yeah.
Moving on. Next up, I got the M38A1CP. Just a quick, cheap 100 point truck. Get 8 of them, so I'm really not short of any kind of vehicles, so I just throw these around whenever I need to catch a sector.
Yep, I've gone for truck-wise, well, armoured car-wise, I've gone for the Grizzlies. Mainly, they're a bit of an old favourite of mine. 100k's off-road, so you can get them out of trouble. A little bit of armour, so I can take a little bit of a hit with a side swipe with artillery shell or something like that. And
yeah, and they're amphibious.
They are indeed amphibious as well. And I've gone for the command squad in the choppers, just so I can get around the map a little bit if required with the command quite quickly. Yeah.
Which helicopter did you get?
In the CH-137, got a little minigun.
You mean 135?
Yeah, I mean 135 with the minigun.
So, cargo time?
Yeah, I think one thing sometimes, and I say something completely different. Yeah, say again?
Yeah, I've noticed that with your videos.
Yeah.
Is it supply time?
Yeah, it's supply time. That's all my commands. Yeah, what have you got for your supply? Not that there's a big choice.
I've got the CH-147 cargo.
Yeah, same.
And one stack of that and one stack of the HLVW.
Yeah, exactly the same. Pretty standard. Not much else you can take, to be honest. So we'll move swiftly on to the infantry.
Right.
Got a nice mixture. Got all 5 slots filled. Again, yeah, you can go first. Just tell us what you got in your infantry.
All right, well, first, amongst the infantry selection, I'm going, everyone knows my personal preference by now. Usually first, I look for strength 15 infantry, and I look through the infantry. I did not find any strength 15 infantry.
No,
but that's not big of a problem. That wasn't the case in the British, so I said, okay, next up, what are all the elite infantry? Look through, there are no elite infantry.
Again, that's right, yes.
So I'm just like, well, what do they have? And I look through, and I'm just like, uh-oh. But I managed to get, I'm looking at the infantry, how they're all, typically standard regular riflemen or stuff. I managed to decided that the infantry here are going to have to go on numbers alone, rather than skill.
Yeah, so these guys aren't going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with a lot of the Russian infantry, especially, the Spetsnaz are going to own these guys easily.
Yeah, well, to be fair, the Spetsnaz own basically most infantry easily.
Yeah, true. So what have you actually gone for then?
Well, first off, I decided to get the Canadian Airborne 85 because these are literally the correct troops that they have, shock troops. And everything, so might as well get some Canadian Airborne.
Yeah, 20 points. They are shock, so I suppose they're probably, like you say, the best of a bad lot, really. And I've got mine in the little Bisons.
I got mine in the CH-135, the one with the minigun.
Oh, okay. Okay. Any other rifle infantry?
Yes. Next after that, I got the Highlander 90s with their 1 kilometer range Sackloss missile. So I got them in a CH-147, so I kind of will bring these with the Canadian Airborne. Canadian Airborne, I think, is be better to take out infantry and buildings, and the Highlanders keep, like, armor personnel and tanks away. from those buildings.
Yeah, exactly, and I got them as well. I got them in the CH-147 for a bit of quick deployment. Maybe at the start, you know, if you want to get a couple of buildings early and they might be bringing infantry in armoured cars or light tanks. I did that for the same reason, yeah. Hold buildings.
Right. Yep.
And have you got anything else? Got the Canadian rifles as well, perhaps?
Yep. Canadian rifles 85s, and I got them in the TH-495. That's basically, well, it's basically like a LAV that the Americans have that drops off infantry, or similar to the Marauder 2s, but not as good, but at the same time, not quite as expensive.
Yeah, I got the Canadian rifles as well, but I got mine in the, what did I get mine? In them little M113A5s.
We'll call it the five-point truck of death.
The 5-point truck of death, which it definitely is, because basically I went for cheapness and spamminess so that we can get lots out. I mean, that's the only reason, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could get a lot of Canadian riflemen out, and like you demonstrated with the West Germans, you could just throw these and get rid of all the anti-tank guided missiles, or just to see what's out there, basically what shoots at it.
Yeah, I got 28 squads of them, so quite a lot.
Yep.
What else have I got? I've got pioneers, just because I wanted something a little bit different, so I got some fire infantry just for woods and buildings.
I actually have pioneers too, M113A1, but my reason in getting the pioneers because I realized since they don't have elite or 15 squad infantry that are no real front line, they need support. What's more support than napalming the enemy infantry?
Yeah, good point. Got mine in the bisons as well. Got a lot of these bisons.
I got these in the cheap trucks.
the cheap trucks of death. Right. Okay.
Right.
Cool. That could be.
That's what we're going to call these.
I'm not sure what I've got. Well, I do kind of have an idea of my unit of the day, but I'm thinking of going for the cheap truck of death now. Actually, so, I don't know.
It'll be a role model.
Yeah. I've got a bit of AA infantry, javelins, in choppers.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've got mine in CH-135s.
I haven't. It's kind of interesting that I see these javelins. I'm pretty sure these are a different type of javelin, but whenever I see them, I always think of our American made javelins, which are actually made to take out bunkers and tanks, and sometimes helicopters at closer range. It has two motors. Once you fire it out, and it flies up high in the air, and then comes back down and it's fire and forget. Whereas this javelin, it's guided and it's helicopters and airplanes. So. I don't know. It's different, but I always think of our American made.
Yeah, I don't know whether I was just thinking maybe that's a more modern weapon or something. I don't know. I don't know really. Yeah.
I think it is. I think it was actually developed in after the millennia turned.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So any more? That's it for your infantry, is it? I think that's 5 each, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 5.
Yeah. Let's move on to support then. The clear leader in this one is got to be the ADATs, I guess.
Yep, the air defense anti-tank system.
Yeah, awesome weapon. 2-8 ground, 3-1 helicopters, 2-4 aeroplanes. Take anything out. Bit poor on the old armoured front, but you can't have everything.
Right, but I mean it's at such huge range that it doesn't really need that kind of armor. It's meant to just take out stuff so far away, and the best part about it, it's not radar.
Yeah, true. Excellent. Yeah, that's right. And also, as far as the ground range is concerned, I'm quite glad it's not hugely massive, because I don't really want this thing firing its 8 missiles off at 5-point trucks. I'd rather have it save them for the helicopters and the aeroplanes.
Right, yeah.
So I actually got 2 sets of them as well, so I've got 16 of them in my deck. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool,
because
cool.
These are clearly the big winner of effectiveness in Canadians. In fact, when I first saw this and I saw how good it was, I was wondering, how come the Canadians have this in their army, but we Americans don't, because of how good it is? So I did a bit of research, and it turns out we did order a bunch of ADATs after we saw the Canadians incorporate them in the army, but right at that moment, the Cold War ended. So we scrapped the deal. So,
yeah, interesting.
So that's why we Americans don't have the ADATs, even though the country right to the north of us does.
So one thing you haven't got. Wow, terrible, isn't it? Anyway, yeah. But in this game, a no-brainer to get the ADATs, really.
Yeah.
As far as other AA I've got, I've also gone for the Centurion Marksman. It is radar, which is a pain in the ass to keep turning on and off, but it's a nice little weapon for 50 points.
Yeah, for 50 points. I mean, the front armor is not the best to go get up close to infantry, and how I've expressed my distaste for any kind of radar gun, as it's very easy to take them out with a seaplane. But yeah, it's to each his own. If they have a preference for radar gun, just go ahead. Just remember to turn them off when you're not using them.
Yeah, yeah. Any other AA you've got?
I've got the Wolverine.
Ah, okay, with the javelins. Javelin
Yep,
LML. Oh, okay.
the javelins in the back.
Yeah, I didn't really consider these. I mean, unusual looking weapon, but yeah, okay. It's got a bit of armor as well, actually. Two front, two side. Yeah.
Yep, it came out in the after they released those new units in that DLC, that brief DLC.
Yeah, cool. Some of
Yep,
the new ones. Okay, and is that it for our AA? You got
that's it for our AA.
right. So for artillery, I've got the M109A2 RCHA. What a mouthful! But I've got 6 of those for my artillery. The best one I could get, really.
The 80-point artillery piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I debated about between this and the 50-point one, the one below it. And the reason why is because, I mean, they both have the same HE power. And the thing is, 7 HE power for 50 points, that's incredibly unheard of in this game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a coin toss, really. I mean, the dispersion. I mean, if you
Dispersion is terrible.
yeah, but if you're hitting a biggish area, a biggish sort of area of town where you're not sure where the infantry are, maybe. But if you want to be a little bit more accurate, yeah, I always go for the accuracy a little bit with artillery.
Right.
So I tend not to do like spread artillerying, but yeah,
Right.
each their own.
In the end, I decided for the 80-point artillery piece because since this is a first army, like I don't know if I actually said this in the video, but I consider any nation that doesn't have seam to it, mechanized, motorized, whatever, as a first army, where you just pick the nation and go for it.
Yeah,
But
okay. Yeah, so you went for that one.
that's what I call it. If people want to call it something else, that's fine. But I just call them a first army. But anyways, I figured the 50-pointer is better for like a support deck where you can bring out a lot more of these, have a lot more logistics, because you're literally just dropping tons of shells on an area. You don't care if they're accurate. You just want to just level an entire area. So I decided it's the 80-point.
Cool, excellent. I've also got some mortars as well. M125s, little cheap 25.1s. Got lots of them. 11 for use, smoking and stuff. I don't know.
Right,
Really.
right.
I wanted to get something else, so I got the mortars anyway.
Yeah, I got the Bison 81 millimeter. The reason why is it's faster, has better autonomy, and it's a little better on the amphibious hull for like 10 points. I mean, the gun's the same, but you can move these around more, so man,
Yeah, actually, I probably might have missed them when I was making my deck because they're sort of separated off from the other one. Actually, I didn't compare them, but yeah, they're just faster.
Yeah, well, they're faster and everything, but they do have a little slower rate of fire, so they don't drop as many mortars as quickly. So it's to each his own, what you want.
Yeah, but I think I'll keep these. But in retrospect, next time I'll probably go for the more expensive because it's just getting them out of the way once they're fired. Because because of counter battery, if you're playing against good players, it's just you want something fast, really.
Yeah, definitely. And they're a little better armored.
Yeah. So we should move on to the fantastic array of tanks that the Canadians have got.
The very
brilliant.
good selection, yes.
So
if anyone can't tell the sarcasm in our voices.
So let's start with the best, I suppose. The best of the worst is the Leopard C2 Mexus.
Yep.
Funny looking tank, a bit dumpy and sort of not too bad looking, but
I'm going to say this right now. This is not a bad tank for 75 points. This is the same points as the Abrams IP that I have in my American deck, and it has a better gun and only 3 less front armor. So this is very good for the price range. The downside is this is the best tank they have in the entire selection.
Yeah, so if there's 4 T-ATUs rolling towards, there's nothing else to sort of stop them. This thing's not going to stop them very well.
No. The Abram IPs would be able to stand up against T-ATUs. This is the equivalent of the Abram IP.
Yeah, well, okay. So I've also got some Centurion Mark, what's that, 5 ATs or SAT? It looks a little bit like that French one that I got in my deck as well, with those little rockets poking out the front.
Yeah, I figured you would get these because, I mean, same reason. You'll just poke a bunch of these out there. They're cheap, and they'll just mob their anti-tank guided missiles.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I've got 2 sets of them as well, so I can even spam them out. But yeah, they're only 30 points. Have you got any other tanks?
I do. I have the Leopard C2 because pretty much this is cheaper, but it has a better gun still than the M1 IP Abrams, which is why, if everyone remembers how I hated the point cost of the tanks, this is kind of why. This tank has a much better gun, a lot cheaper. The only thing is it doesn't have quite as good armor. But yeah,
good point. Yeah.
So I'm going to use these as sort of like suppression. Just keep them at max range in a tree line, and then anything pokes its head out, these things will take care of it for me, I'm hoping, or at least suppress it.
Yeah, cool. So that's actually it for my tanks, just those 2.
I do have one more tank.
What have you got? Centurion?
The Centurion Mark V.
Okay.
The reason why this is a 25-point tank, which, stats are pretty, average for a 25-point tank, except it has 9 front armor, and that's unheard of for such a cheap tank to have that strong of armor.
So it could be good for the infantry support and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. And they have a stabilizer, so that if I ever feel like, well, I want to try to break through, I'll just bring a whole bunch of these things in and charge.
That's a good point. Yeah. What's the autonomy like on these things? Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, it definitely looks
bad, but they're.
Yeah, it definitely looks very World War II-ish, I have to say, and I'm loving the spotlight though on the front of the turret. Don't see that in many tanks. Looks really weird. Right, Recon. Right, first thing is I've taken the only Recon chopper, the CH-136.
Me too.
Very good optics. 50 points, little minigun. Probably won't do a lot with that, but yeah, it's just an okay Recon chopper. Then I've got the Iltis Scout car, really, isn't it? It's a little car with a little Browning machine gun. I've gone for that, mainly for the exceptional optics and the speed.
Yep. And it's got actually medium stealth, because I mean, you see the camouflage up on that truck. It makes sense it has a medium stealth, so it's a little harder to see in a tree line.
Yep. Then I've got the Recon in CH-147s, a little infantry, 2-man infantry squads.
Oh yes, these are exceptional to have as scouts. Just turn off the sniper rifle and the assault rifle, and pretty much you can sneak behind enemy lines, not being seen unless they fly exceptional recon helicopter over them.
Yeah, exactly. Exceptional stealth and fast across the ground. Really nice little units there. I've also got the Pathfinders, which are quite a big group of, actually, there's 10 of them, is there? Yeah, there's 10 of these guys. So, and they're fast, and they're only 25 points. So, got these as well. I've got them in little...
Where'd you get them in?
Grizzlies. Little Grizzlies are... no, they're not amphibious, are they? Grizzlies look amphibious, but they're not amphibious. Oh, okay, interesting. But yeah.
No, they're amphibious.
Grizzlies. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was looking at the Pathfinders. Yeah,
I was trying to figure that.
I thought that was a bit odd.
Unfortunately, none of the infantry can swim in this game, so I'm sorry, Bubble.
Yeah, which is a bit weird, yeah. Okay, so you got them as well, have you?
Yes, I do. I got 2 stacks of them because pretty much these are the only elite infantry they have. So they're going to be frontline units. Like I said, if everyone needs to have a frontline recon unit, mine just happens to be the Pathfinders. So I can bring in 12 squads of them.
Yeah, so they're my 4 sets of recon.
Yeah, that's my 5 stacks of recon. Sorry. I have the 2 stacks of Pathfinders, 1 Resi and 1 of the CH-136. But I also have a stack of Coyotes. They're very good optics labs in the equivalent, with a nice, very good accurate Bushmaster and everything, so they're very good as infantry support as well, with providing very good optic recon.
Yeah, I may have overlooked these in my haste making my Canadian deck. They do look like a nice little unit.
Why would you rush making this deck?
Well, I didn't rush, but, you know. I'm a busy man. So, yeah. But I'll stick to what I've got, though. Yeah, not really anything. I could move out the Iltis Scout and bring this in, but very tempting. Very tempting.
Yeah. But the Ilta Scout does its job. I mean,
Yeah.
it stays more hidden. Oh no, actually, the Coyote also has medium stealth, so it's up to you.
I'm gonna swap them because yeah,
Okay,
I'm gonna
sounds
swap.
good.
I'm getting the I'm getting the where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I can't find it. The coyote. There we are. I'm getting that one. Okay, cool. So that's it for Recon. Vehicles.
Yay,
Go on, you go
the
first.
second
Dan.
best selection. All right, the Chimera.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Chimera or Chimera. I don't know, but yeah,
It's potato.
it is. Yeah, there's a nice maple leaf on the side, but yeah, and, again, got to get it, haven't you? Because you've got no choice really.
Right. I mean, it's a mobile gun that has incredible armor. It has 12 side armor. That's better than most tanks, actually.
Yeah, it is. 12 side armor is pretty amazing. It looks kind of funny. It's not got a turning turret. It is a mobile gun, as you've mentioned to me before. So
That is the definition of a mobile gun.
Yeah.
Mobile guns have the gun built into the main body, where the tanks have a turret independent of their main body.
yeah, it gives it limitations, and it's got no stabilizer, so it's got to be still while firing. So it's going to be a little bit more vulnerable out in the open and stuff. So
It
difficult.
only has a 5 to 10 degree range of field, so why would you want to put a stabilizer on that?
Yeah, exactly. So it's quite difficult. It needs a bit of microing around or staying hidden. So
Most likely I'll use these as bait while I have, my other tanks with the better guns sitting in the trees to shoot at whatever shoots at this thing.
yeah, and your ADATs, of course, sitting nearby to take out the choppers and the aeroplanes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
These are going to be excellent bait things, I think. But other than that, they're not too brilliant. And they've got a very low rate of fire at only 6 rounds per minute. That's one shot every 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's not not fantastic. Lav 2 UAs, I've got those as well with quite large anti-tank gun weapon, 70% accuracy, 25 AP power. Doesn't look too bad.
Yep. Whenever I see these things, I always keep thinking Lab 3 tunas. I don't know why.
Yeah, but these things can hide away nicely in bushes and stuff like that. I've got some very, very cheap tows as well, the M151A2 tows. 20 points. I mean, it's almost a throwaway unit, but you can just stick a couple of these together in a bush somewhere, and if they get the shots off first, because of their decent AP power, they should do some damage before they can scuttle away into the bush somewhere.
I don't... My personal dislike for these is that they're 5 hit points, so they're really easy to take out. They only have 15 AP, so they're really meant for medium tanks and APCs, and they only have 4 sack loss missiles for 20 points. That seems pretty expensive. That's why I didn't go for them.
Yeah, and actually looking at the LAV 3 2UAs we just spoke about, they've actually got 12 missiles. I've just had a look, so that's quite a lot more, isn't it?
And with a much better AP power at the same time.
Yeah, maybe I'll keep these in reserve then. We'll see. Depends if I get desperate. Yeah, and the Cougars. I've got the Cougars. For no other reason than there was nothing else for me to take really with the points I had left, so I went for these Cougars. Nothing special about them at all.
Right. I was wondering why this had such low rate of fire for an autocannon, but I looked, that's not an autocannon, that's a turret. A tank gun.
Yeah, it's just like kind of a funny looking thing. It is amphibious, quite fast amphibious as well, so it could quickly nip across the river. I could see this as a infantry support, keeping APCs suppressed from approaching the village. That's really what I see these for, APCs killing. Yeah, very specific task really. It's not the best unit in the world. Any more vehicles?
Nope, that's it for me.
Helicopters, again, very poor choice of helicopters.
They're so poor, I didn't get any.
I got one set of the 35-point choppers, one set of the 30-point choppers, and one set of the 45-point choppers. Mainly, I can spam these out, go over an area, pick off commands, that sort of thing, if required. I mean, but I probably won't bring them out early or mid-game.
Yeah, I can also see how you could bring out a bunch of these and overwhelm medium up to medium air defenses. Like, so if you have like a couple Tunguska sitting back, yeah, they're going to take out a lot of these things, but these things can overwhelm them, and then you can clear away for any ally helicopter or planes or something. So yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, I get 17 in each with each pack as well, so I've got plenty of them. But
Right.
again, they're not fantastic, are they? To be honest.
No, they look like they just bought our old Huey helicopter because we had a surplus of them and we were happy to oblige.
Okay. So moving on to the aircraft, I've got 3 aircraft. What have you got for the aircraft?
I've got 5 aircraft, so you start first.
Okay, I'll go first then. I've got the CF-118 Hornet, just air superiority really, just to make up for the kind of, well, I wouldn't say lack of anti-air, because I have got the some decent anti-air, but I've got those, and I've also got the
118 or 188?
188, yeah, thanks for correcting me again. CF-188 Hornet, yeah, just for the anti-air really.
It's a decent air-to-air aircraft.
It is for 140 points. It's pretty decent.
It's got definitely more powerful missiles than more average aircraft. So yeah, I could see this.
I've also got the CF-18 Hornet for its cluster bombs for, you know, anti-tank warfare and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pretty fast as well, and it's got 30% ECM, so that's pretty decent. Although pretty expensive at 150 points as well. But
yeah,
you know.
but
and then I've got the electric Voodoos, strange sounding aircraft. I'm not too enamored with these, but I got them as in the last like cheapish kind of slot, just for their seed missiles.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well take out the seed of enemy enemy. I mean, even if you don't have that many aircraft, taking out this radar of enemy, the enemy still is a satisfying feeling to do. I'm going to say.
I mean, these do have to get quite close at 4,200, but they've got 50% ECM, so...
Right, and they're fairly cheap.
They are, yeah. So go ahead, what have you got for your aircraft?
Alright, well, I do actually have the stack of CF-188 Hornets and the electric Voodoo. So,
cool.
You can cross those off. Now, one thing I do have, this might seem odd to some people, but I actually have the regular Voodoo aircraft.
Right, okay, the CF-101B, okay.
Yeah, it's a 45-point plane.
Anti-helicopter by any chance?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've seen like an enemy Recon helicopter that's worth like 75 or 100 points sitting right out over the ocean, and I would so much like to, but I had a airplane that was like twice the amount of points that if it does go after it and they shoot that down, I would actually lost that exchange to begin with. But these things, I don't care about losing, and I can, if they take out the helicopter, they've just taken out a helicopter twice their points, so it was a good trade.
Yeah, I don't know how, it says a reload time of 1 second for 4 missiles, so I don't know, what's the range?
It's
1750, so...
1750, but it's, yeah, not have to go about it. It'll get off about 2 missiles before it flies past. But it was a stabilizer of 25%. If you find like a pair of these, you're guaranteed to take out the helicopter. So it's a 50-50 chance, and it's a cheap plane, so I don't care if I lose it.
Yeah, cool. Excellent.
I do that a lot, don't I?
It's decent logic. I'd never really thought about that one for this one, but yeah, okay. What else have you got? You haven't got the Starfighters, have you?
Actually, I do have this. I have the CF-18 Hornet as well.
Ah, okay. Right.
And then, yes, I have the Starfighters.
Yeah, good old favourites. I watched a documentary on these. Apparently they call them the one-man rocket or something like that. Something like that, because it looks just like, basically it's a rocket with 2 little pods out the side.
It does, but it has 38 rockets in it. That's a lot of rockets, and a 40% accuracy stabilizer.
Yeah, and can defend itself a little bit against airplanes as well.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this. I actually have a pretty deep appreciation for rocket pod airplanes. They're not used as often as people should, and the reason why is that little less people know is that when they evac Winchester, their reload time for those rockets is actually very, very short. And the reason why is that they I think is because they actually just drop off the rocket pods and then quickly just attach a new set of rocket pods and then fly that airplane back out again. I mean, these things will be ready in like 10 to 12 seconds after you use them.
Yeah, Cool.
Send it
Cool,
back
yeah.
until just. It could be very annoying to just have these strafe the enemy like 6 times a minute.
Yeah, and it's an interesting aircraft as well, the Starfighter. I mean, it's been put into so many different roles and had so many different attachments in like the Cold War days, early Cold War days.
Right.
I think it was one of the backbone of many nations, kind of anti-air and like, and also with the rocket pods and everything as well. Yeah, pretty awesome weapon in its day. Pretty awesome weapon.
Yes, definitely.
Any other? Is that your 5? Is that 5 you've done?
That's 5.
Okay, so we've just got the Navy to do now. Basically, this is kind of a bit of an add-on for me for the Canadians and the Navy. I've got some Super Hornets, Tornadoes, CF ASUWs, Burliet Exocets, and Javelins in Bisons. That's it.
What I have is because I mean they do have decent aircraft, but they are on the cheap end. So I got the F-14 Tomcat because interceptor, because a little more air superiority couldn't hurt.
Absolutely, really, really nice aircraft. Yeah, superb. And if the Russians, or if the Soviet, or if there's a Russian team and they haven't bought in the MiG-31, so you got it made with this thing, haven't you? Really? With the change. Yeah.
Yep. I also have the F-111G.
F-111G. Let me try and find that quickly. Where's that?
It's an aircraft.
F-111G. Oh yes, the anti-ship. Yeah, I do know it. Yep.
Yep. It has the symbol for the Commonwealth, and since this is a Canadian deck, I just figured might as well put this in.
Excellent. I can't actually find it. It's in there somewhere. But I do know the only thing I don't like about this is if you use it against ships with quite long anti-air, it's got 4 missiles, hasn't it? If I remember rightly.
It's got 4 missiles, but it fires at 5,600 meters away, so it should be out of range still.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have used it alongside kind of Super Hornets, and the Super Hornets evac much earlier than this. This thing gets quite close, I have to say. That's the only reason I shy away from it a little bit. I would never attack like one of the big 500-point Soviet ships with this on its own.
Well,
because
not the Sovereignty, definitely.
No,
Sovereignty has longer range, but Utiloids, I've actually seen these things not get shot at by Utiloids by going after this, because Utiloids do have a shorter range.
Okay. Cool. So, anything else? Oh, what else have you got? Yes, you've got more.
I've got the Sea Buster.
You got the Sea Buster. So I got the Burlier Exocet. You got the Sea Buster. Where's that?
Because they've got 6 missiles at 50% accuracy, so it's almost a guarantee that you're going to hit something, or at the very least have them all focused on this.
Yeah, the Exocet's got 4 missiles at 70% accuracy. So yeah, I mean, what's the range on yours?
Mine is 7,700 meters.
All right, okay, mine's 7,000. So yeah, and how much are yours ones? How much are they? I can't find them. Mine's 70 points.
They're 85 points.
That's a little bit more. Yeah, maybe I should have gone for them, but I'll stick with the Exocets. In this case.
Yeah, that's fine. And then I got some Super Pumas, because, I mean, Super Pumas are awesome.
Yeah, I probably might have been better off getting rid of one of the aircraft and getting Super Pumas instead. It's just the extra microing up and down, backwards and forwards all the time. Gets a bit monotonous, but yeah.
Yeah. I also brought some LCUs to keep the Super Pumas and Sea Busters supplied, so...
Ah, okay, yeah, I haven't got any LCUs in this deck. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. If you don't have any supply in your Navy, just stick to the aircraft, because they will resupply indefinitely.
Exactly.
That's the special thing about the aircraft.
So I think that's about it.
That is about it.
And the time has come to make your choice.
It's a no-brainer.
Do you want me to make your choice for you?
I think both of us have the same choice.
Yeah, it's the ADATs, isn't it?
It has to be the ADATs. So yeah, I know a lot. I'm sure people are saying, but wait, you guys should pick different units so that it's more fair. Well, I'm sorry, but everything else is nothing compared to the ADATs. So I mean, it's sort of like telling someone, like one of us to pick the gold and the other one has to go and pick the copper, because silver and bronze doesn't exist in this.
Good point. I think well made. I mean, I'm just flicking through them now, and there's just nothing else you'd pick above that at all.
Right, nothing that will pop your eye out.
Not even close to it. I mean, the Chimera just doesn't do it for me, I'm afraid. It just doesn't, you know. It's a decent weapon, the Chimera, but it's nothing compared to the ADATs. So yeah, I'll go with the ADATs as well.
Right.
So thanks very much, Silveraptor. So we'll the next deck we're going to do. What is it? Is it the Anzacs? And then we're going to play a couple of games with these two, the Anzacs and the Canadians, which is going to be really, really difficult and really, really interesting. So
yes, definitely.
Thanks for all your comments, and I'll see you next time.
Yes, I will. And you too.
So thanks for watching, guys. Please do comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.